Well, what an absolutely spooky All Hallows Eve for Nottingham Forest. They were absolutely smacked at the carpet by Arsenal. 5-0. What a fantastic victory. Back to the top of the Premier League. Let's get into it. Good morning, my peoples, and welcome back to the counterattack. I hope you and yours are doing very, very well. Today, Arsenal this morning take on Nottingham Forest, the last place team in the Premier League. And I woke up this morning, looked at the lineup, and again, it did not matter who he put on the pitch. I expect all 3 points today from Arsenal, but you know Arteta, he loves some consistency, and it was all the same. Tomiyasu back at left back, same as Southampton. Nothing really else to say there. Have to get a win today. Today, we actually started a little bit differently than how we normally start. Normally we start out just flying out of the gates. You know what happened against Liverpool. You know what happened against Tottenham. But today, it wasn't so much helter-skelter flying out of the gates, like a cat out of a bag. But it was more of a controlled start, not too electric, very controlled in the first few minutes. But oh boy, my people, here comes that first goal, nice and early too. You see, I love a controlled start. That doesn't give away too many chances to the other team or any chances to the other team, and we still get a goal. 5 minutes in, you know who it is, my people. Gabriel Martinelli. We actually steal it back. Martinelli steals possession back. He switches it over to Saka. Saka cuts it in on his left foot and sends in a delightful cross. Right on Martinelli's head. 1-0 to the Arsenal. Fantastic start. And Forest, they don't know what hit them. The first 30 minutes of this half, especially after we went up 1-0, was exactly the same as PSV at home. Forest had no intention at all of coming out of a low block, everyone behind the ball, all 11 men behind, and even Awoni, the Forest striker, he was way in his own half. They had no intention of playing. Saka was clearly the most dangerous outlet on the left. They had no idea how to handle him. Completely outmatched, but about on 25 minutes, he goes down with an injury. And frankly, I have to say something on this. Bukayo Saka gets absolutely rocked every single day with horrible tackles, late tackles, people clearly targeting him and aiming for his legs, trying to slow him down. And finally today, I think it was just too much for him. He goes off on about 26 minutes with an ankle injury. Pray to the good Lord on this fine Sunday that this man doesn't have a long-term injury, because if he does, I don't know. Arsenal might be in trouble, but England definitely are in trouble for the World Cup if he's out. After Saka went out worryingly, there was a little bit of a drop in energy. We kind of looked a little bit shell-shocked. Well, not really shell-shocked, but just a tiny bit out of it. And Forest, that's when they chose to make the game really scrappy, really diving into the tackles. And we looked off-kilter, off-center. That's how we looked. Nelson comes on. Oh, man, I so want Reece Nelson to do well. And he was actually playing a lot more centrally than Saka usually does. Saka kind of hangs out on the wings and tries to come in every now and again. But Reece Nelson, when he came on, he was much more centrally placed, looked very lively. But that was the end of the first half. I'll take a 1-0 lead. The boys come out for that second half, and the name of the game for the rest of the match was absolutely going to be get more goals. And when we get more goals, we need to get more goals after that. But, did it turn out that way? Yes, it did, my people. Oh, man. What a fantastic second half. I truly enjoyed that 45 minutes after a few second halves where we weren't exactly, too great, weren't scoring that well. But great start to the second half. Here comes the second goal. Partey, he splits a few lines. Oh, Partey. Great match today from him. He splits a few lines to Xhaka. It gets worked into Nelson, and he slams home his own rebound. Reece Nelson is back, my people. 2-0 to the Arsenal. My people, you know that old Sun Tzu saying, when you're done screwing your enemy, screw him just a little bit more. And that's exactly what we did to Forest. I love this. Absolutely love it. 3-0 to the Arsenal. We score again almost immediately. And again, the boy, Reece Nelson. You already know what it is, my people. We score again. Jesus, he finds Nelson in the box. He does well. Nelson does well to sort of ghost into that box when the danger looked like Forest had dealt with it. But Gabriel Jesus, he finds a pass. Nelson hits it one time into the corner. The double for Nelson, 3-0 to the Arsenal. Beautiful. Oh, my days, my people, they are absolutely flying in. 4-0, here we go. Nelson, he squares it to Partey, who curls it in, an absolute carbon copy of that goal. Oh, that beautiful long-range goal against Spurs. We are up 4-0. Forest have totally given up. After that flurry of goals to start off that second half, I believe we had 3 goals probably in the first 12, 13 minutes of that second half. For the rest of that second half, we didn't really take our foot off the pedal, but we maintained and were in complete control. Forest barely offering anything. I can't really think of any uncomfortable moments in our box or any real hard saves that Ramsdale had to make, if any, to be honest. But Forest, they are so obliging today. Hats off to them for giving me a nice relaxing Sunday. 5-0, here it comes. Too easy. Odegaard, he receives it at the top of the box, sort of like moves very slowly, slaloms his way into the 18-yard line, lowers a shoulder, and blasts it past Manchester United goalkeeper Dean Henderson. 5-0 to the Arsenal. Well, my peoples, that was all she wrote. 5-0. Very comfortable home win for the Arsenal. Man of the match today has to go to Thomas Partey. He was so good in that midfield. Whenever he has a good game, Arsenal are going to have a good game. Special mention has to go to Reece Nelson. This man hasn't played for such a long time, and he gets a brace today and an assist, I believe. What a great day for him. I'm so happy to see him back. I know all of the other Arsenal fans are too. He's one of us. Haaland graduate, been on loan, struggled a little bit with injuries, out of form, but here he is, back and kicking. Absolutely killed Forest today, but here we are. Top of the Premier League, 2 points clear. You absolutely love to see it. I believe that was our last home match in the Premier League before the World Cup. I think we have one other home match against Zurich in the Europa League, but that's it for home in the Premier League. Great way to cap off the first half of this season at home anyway. We are clear at the top. Beautiful. Thank you for sticking with me, my people. Please slap that like button, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care.